What's up everyone? So in today's video I'll be going over the CADA Steam Bun Shop set number C66006, and this was designed by EXE Sandbox. This set has a total of 1108 pieces and costs around $110 Canadian. Also, thank you to Letbricks for sending me this set for review, however the thoughts and opinions of this review are my own. So to start off, I knew there were more and more non-LEGO brands and knockoffs on the market in recent years, but I never really paid attention to them or had an interest in buying them since I was really only interested in LEGO brand products. When I first received this set, I was surprised by how nice the packaging was, as it had its own charm and aesthetic to it. There are other brands, who should not be named, that blatantly use or replicate LEGO's aesthetic and logo for brand recognition, but I like how CADA tries to at least differentiate itself here. Also, there are many more original sets with CADA, and they seem to partner with different mock builders and give them credit where it's due. In terms of the differences in CADA bricks versus LEGO bricks, I would say the quality was close, but there were some relatively large injection or sprue marks left on the CADA bricks on a few pieces in this set, which you would not typically see from a LEGO set. A couple were sharp enough that when I was building, it poked my finger when I was pressing down on it, which wasn't the best feeling, but it was maybe one or two pieces out of the 1,000 here. The clutch power of the pieces were on par with LEGO, however, and some are even a bit stronger, but these were new pieces, so only time will tell how they'll hold up later. Many of the pieces also follow the same molds as LEGO for the most part, with only a couple of variances when I was building. So you can mix and match these pieces with LEGO bricks, and they should connect fine. But obviously, for some of you guys, you might want to separate your LEGO and non-LEGO bricks if you have them in your collection. The entire build took a total of 3 hours, and there were some annoying parts to the build, but the overall process was fairly smooth, and there were some very clever techniques used to capture the details on the outside and interiors as well. The scale of this building seems like it could be in line with the LEGO modulars, but condensed a bit, since most buildings in Asia, Japan, China, and Korea for example, are typically smaller or more compact. The entire build is built on a 16x21 stud footprint, and uses plates for the base, so there's no base plate included. One of the reasons why I really enjoy this build is since LEGO doesn't really have many sets that showcase Asian street style buildings other than Ninjago or Monkey Kid, which might either be a small side build, or it'll have a cyberpunk or futuristic twist to design. Those are fine for what they are, and I'm a big fan of the Ninjago City sets because of this, but I personally would like to see some more regular Asian style street buildings released by LEGO. On the left side, you can see there are some pinholes at the bottom here, which gives me the impression that the designer had modularity in mind. Not to mention, after coming back from Japan recently, this set just reminds me of the buildings I saw when I was walking down the streets, and there could have been a building that looked just like this that I passed by too. So first taking a look at the ground level, you have the Steam Bun Shop, which the set is named after, as a food stall in the front. You have seating for 3 people, a counter where patrons can eat, and some steam buns on display as well. It's a bit hard to see inside and behind the counter, but we'll take a closer look at the interior later, as it's a pretty cool feature I want to show with this build. All the signs use clear back stickers, and there are no printed elements in this entire set. This was a bit tedious, so hopefully CADA implements more printed elements in their future sets. I tried to see what the signs say in Google Translate, and it just tells me it says Steaming Bakery, so I'm not sure if that's an accurate translation, but if any of you guys know what it says in Japanese, let me know in the comments below. Around to the side, there's a build for a vending machine, which you'll see on almost every block in Japan, and it even comes with a recycling bin on the side. I'll talk about this wire that runs to the bin a bit later, but on the ground, I think this yellow 2x8 plate is supposed to represent a tactile walking surface. Above it, you have a trans light blue awning and an AC unit above it as well, so any condensation or water that does drip from it doesn't drip down onto someone buying a drink. The vending machine is a Fuji brand one, so you're only able to buy Fuji brand drinks, and there are stickers on the windows and each of the drinks inside, and they're a bit annoying to put on. I think these should have been a print, since they're pretty tedious and repetitive, and it was a pain to line up the stickers on the vending machine window as well. At the corner, you have a utility and light pole, and this was a bit tedious to put together as well, but I quite like the final look of it. There are flexes on the top that end up pushing or making the pole lean, and we'll take a closer look when we look at the second level later. Coming around to the back, you have a shutter style garage door that's half open, and I really like the part usage here with the linear geared track pieces. And then beside it is the entrance to the second floor. And right above that, you have the exhaust or chimney from the Steam Bun Shop, and another AC unit as well, and a drain pipe that connects all the way to the roof. And then coming to the last side, this would be the side that you would normally connect to another modular building, so you wouldn't really see this. And here are the pinholes that I mentioned earlier. Coming up to the second level, the exterior is tiled off, which is almost a common look in many Japanese style buildings, and really like the technique used at the corner here, which covers off the windows. I don't know the exact design or architectural term for this, but there was some pretty clever part usage here with these 1x8 dark tan tiles and some clip plates to capture this look, and I might even use this technique in some of my own mocks in the future as well. Right under it in the front are some lights for the steam bun shop, and coming around to the side, the window wraps around the corner, and there's some plant life or ivory growing to the top as well. I don't know if this is that common in Japan, but it looks nice and uses some pretty simple techniques to add some color to the build. They also surround a circular window which uses a clear 2x2 tile, which I don't think LEGO has made yet. Here you can also see some flex tubes which connect the building to the utility pole, and these flex tubes do tend to make the pole lean or bend out a bit. I did try bending the flex tubes a bit more afterwards, but they end up straightening back out, so they just naturally push up against it. There's also some other details on the pole, like a transformer, and we'll say that the pin used to connect the transformer here doesn't have the friction ridges like the LEGO ones typically have, so it's pretty easy to move or rotate. If you have some spares in your collection, I recommend swapping out the CADA pin with a LEGO Friction Technic pin, just so that the transformer stays in place a bit better. Coming around to the back, you can see the rest of the exhaust and drain pipe, and there's a barred window in the middle as well. On the last side, there's one more window, but depending on what you put beside this building, it might end up being covered off entirely. And then coming around back to the front, I forgot to mention, there's also a smaller drain pipe on the left side, and on top there's two smaller windows as well. So coming up to the roof, I believe this is supposed to represent smaller exhaust fans, and then beside it in the middle is a large skylight which uses trans black windshield pieces. One thing that I have to commend CADA on is that they package these windshield pieces separately just to avoid them having being scratched. So for this set, you aren't really able to remove the different levels like how you would in a LEGO modular building. However, a very nice feature that was included was that if you come to the back, there's a heli brick right here which acts like a lock, and the drain pipe also doubles as a hinge, so if you pull off the entire back wall, it reveals the interior like a dollhouse. So now you can see a bit more detail on the first and second levels. So for the first level, you can see in the back there's some bamboo containers used for steaming, and I think that's a propane tank as a heat source. And then the second level is a loft style apartment. On the lower level you have a computer, work desk, and chair. And then on one side you have a bookcase or maybe a wardrobe. And I like the technique used here since it uses some white hinge bricks and some reddish brown hinges just to get that subtle line or layering effect there. And then at the back wall, might be hard to see, it's a clear back sticker of a cherry blossom and a red sun. And then on the left side, the ladder is built into the wall to give you access to the sleeping area. And in the sleeping area is a small narrow bed with a nightstand beside it and a towel or mat on the floor there. And then lastly, above the side window, you have a small AC unit. So speaking of the wire earlier, you may have seen some wires that ran through both the first and second floors. And you guessed it, it's a lighting kit which is included in this set. So turning off all the lights, this is how it looks lit up. It uses a standard USB connection, and you can have different light settings by just pressing the button on the USB connection. This was something that I was pleasantly surprised with, and it was the first time I added wiring into a set, so that part of the instructions took a bit longer to do, but the setup afterwards was super easy. I know there are many third-party lighting kits to add to sets, which might add some more functionality than this, but I liked how the instructions helped set up the wiring as I was building this, and also just comes with the set by default. One nitpick is that the USB cord is a bit short, so you may need to add an extension, and I might just relocate the wire here to a more conspicuous location. Finally, here's the spent sticker sheet, and I'm not sure if everyone will get this, but I had a whole other parts bag they didn't use, and these were the extra parts left over from the numbered bags. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be this many, or if I missed some steps in the instructions. You also get these tools with the set, and I didn't use all of them while building, but it's a nice inclusion and provides some more variety other than just a brick separator. So my final thoughts on this set, the overall build experience was comparable to LEGO, however there were a few steps that I didn't look forward to, like adding stickers on each of the drinks and signs, wiring the roof was a bit tedious, and as mentioned already, building and connecting the utility pole. The instructions are pretty clear for the most part, and I like how the first page they introduce the designer and give them credit. For 1108 parts at $110 Canadian, this price seems pretty reasonable for what you get, especially if you consider the lighting kit as well, which may seem a bit basic compared to some of the other ones on the market, but it's a nice bonus and is much better than just a standard light brick. I think this set would have benefited by adding at least a few minifigures, like a shop owner, maybe someone else living upstairs, and at least one patron for the shop just to add some life and storytelling to the set. Overall, I think this was a solid set, and I was satisfied with the final build for what it is. I think I would buy this set for myself since there aren't that many of these types of builds from LEGO, and it's not easy to design buildings in this scale to capture all the details and charms that they're known for. If there are more of these builds released, I will definitely consider buying them, since it would be nice to recreate some of the streets and buildings I saw during my trip to Japan in a LEGO city, or maybe just on a shelf by themselves. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know down in the comments below your thoughts, and if you'd like to see me do more set reviews in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.